in which an affair unfolds, and we see the damage wrought upon the scorned. Chapter 33. Kitty made the acquaintance of Madame Stahl as well, and this acquaintance, together with her friendship for Varenka, not only had great influence on her, but comforted her in her grief. The comfort lay in the fact that, thanks to this acquaintance, a completely new world was opened to her, which had nothing in common with her past. A lofty, beautiful world, from the height of which she could calmly look over the past. It was revealed to her that, besides the instinctive life to which Kitty had given herself till then, there was a spiritual life. This life was revealed by religion, but a religion that had nothing in common with the one Kitty had known from childhood, and which found expression in the liturgy and vigils at the widow's home, where one could meet acquaintances, and in learning Slavonic texts by heart with a priest. It was a lofty, mysterious religion, bound up with a series of beautiful thoughts and feelings which one could not only believe in because one was told to, but could also love. Kitty did not learn all this from words. Madame Stahl spoke with Kitty as with a dear child whom one looks upon fondly, as a memory of one's youth, and she only once mentioned that in all human griefs consolation is given by faith and love alone, and that no griefs are too negligible for Christ's compassion for us, and at once turned the conversation to something else. Yet in her every movement, in every word, in every heavenly glance, as Kitty put it, especially in the whole story of her life, which she knew from Varenka, in everything Kitty learned what was important, which till then she had not known. But however lofty Madame Stahl's character was, however touching her whole story, however lofty and tender her speech, Kitty inadvertently noticed features in her that she found troubling. She noticed that when asking about her family, Madame Stahl smiled contemptuously, which was contrary to Christian kindness. She also noticed that when she found a Catholic priest with her, Madame Stahl carefully kept her face in the shadow of a lampshade, and smiled peculiarly. However negligible these two observations were, they troubled her, and she doubted Madame Stahl. But Varenka, lonely, without family, without friends, with her sad disappointment, desiring nothing, regretting nothing, was that very perfection of which Kitty only allowed herself to dream. From Varenka she understood that you had only to forget yourself and love others, and you would be calm, happy, and beautiful. And that was how Kitty wanted to be. Now that she had clearly understood what was most important, Kitty did not content herself with admiring it, but at once, with all her soul, gave herself to this new life that had opened to her. From Varenka's stories about what Madame Stahl and the others she mentioned did, Kitty made herself a plan for her future life, just like Madame Stahl's niece, Aline, of whom Varenka had told her so much. Wherever she lived, she would seek out the unfortunate people, help them as much as possible, distribute the gospel, read the gospel to the sick, the criminal, the dying. The thought of reading the gospel to criminals, as Aline did, especially attracted Kitty. But these were all secret thoughts which Kitty did not speak about, either to her mother or to Varenka. Even now, however, in anticipation of the time for fulfilling her plans on a large scale, Kitty easily found occasion, in imitation of Varenka, for applying her new rules at the spa, where there were so many sick and unfortunate people. At first the princess noticed only that Kitty was under the strong influence of her engouement, as she called it, for Madame Stahl, and especially for Varenka. She saw that Kitty not only imitated Varenka in her activity, but involuntarily imitated her way of walking, speaking, and blinking her eyes. But then the princess noticed that, independently of this fascination, a serious inner turnabout was taking place in her daughter. The princess saw that in the evenings Kitty read the French gospel that Madame Stahl had given her, something she had not done before, that she avoided society acquaintances and made friends with the sick people who were under Varenka's patronage, especially with the poor family of the sick painter Petrov. Kitty was obviously proud that she was fulfilling the duties of a sister of mercy in this family. That was all good, and the princess had nothing against it, the more so as Petrov's wife was a perfectly decent woman, and the Fürstin, noticing Kitty's activity, praised her, calling her a ministering angel. All this would have been very good, had it not been for its excessiveness. But the princess saw that her daughter was running to extremes, which she proceeded to tell her. Il ne faut jamais rien outre, she told her. But her daughter said nothing in reply. She only thought in her heart that one could not speak of excessiveness in matters of Christianity. What excessiveness could there be in following a teaching that tells you to turn the other cheek when you've been struck, and to give away your shirt when your kaftan is taken? But the princess did not like this excessiveness, and still less did she like it that, as she felt, Kitty did not want to open her soul to her entirely. In fact, Kitty kept her new views and feelings hidden from her mother. She kept them hidden, not because she did not respect or love her mother, but because she was her mother. She would sooner have revealed them to anyone than to her mother. It's some while since Anna Pavlovna has visited us, the princess said once of Petrov's wife. I invited her, but she seems somehow displeased. No, I didn't notice, Maman, Kitty said, flushing. Have you visited them recently? We're going for an outing in the mountains tomorrow, Kitty replied. Well, go then, the princess replied, looking into her daughter's embarrassed face and trying to guess the cause of her embarrassment. That same day, Varenka came for dinner and told them that Anna Pavlovna had changed her mind about going to the mountains tomorrow, and the princess noticed that Kitty blushed again. Kitty, have you had any unpleasantness with the Petrovs? The princess said when they were alone. Why has she stopped sending the children and coming to see us? Kitty replied that there had been nothing between them, and that she decidedly did not understand why Anna Pavlovna seemed displeased with her. Kitty's reply was perfectly truthful. She did not know the reason for Anna Pavlovna's change towards her, but she guessed it. Her guess was something she could not tell her mother any more than she could tell it to herself. It was one of those things that one knows, but cannot even tell oneself, so dreadful and shameful it would be to be mistaken. Again and again she went over her whole relationship with this family in her memory. She remembered the naive joy that had shone on Anna Pavlovna's round, good-natured face when they met, remembered their secret discussions about the sick man, conspiracies for distracting him from his work, which was forbidden him, and taking him for a walk, the attachment of the younger boy, who called her my Kitty, and refused to go to bed without her. How good it had all been! Then she remembered the thin, thin figure of Petrov, with his long neck, and his brown frock coat, his scant, wavy hair, his inquisitive blue eyes, which Kitty had found so frightening at first, and his painful attempts to look cheerful and animated in her presence. She remembered her own efforts at first to overcome the revulsion she felt for him, as for all the consumptives, and her attempts to think of something to say to him. She remembered the timid, tender gaze with which he had looked at her, and the strange feeling of compassion and awkwardness, and then the consciousness of her own virtue which she had experienced at that. How good it had all been! But all that was in the beginning. And now, a few days ago, everything had suddenly gone bad. Anna Pavlovna met Kitty with a false amiability, and constantly watched her and her husband. Could it be that his touching joy at her coming was the cause of Anna Pavlovna's chilliness? Yes, she remembered, there had been something unnatural in Anna Pavlovna, and quite unlike her kindness when she had said crossly 2 days ago, "Here, he's been waiting for you. Didn't want to have coffee without you, though he got terribly weak." Yes, maybe it was unpleasant for her when I gave him the rug. It's all so simple, but he took it so awkwardly, thanked me so profusely, that I too felt awkward. And then the portrait of me that he painted so well, and above all that embarrassed and tender look. Yes, it's so, Kitty repeated to herself in horror. No, it cannot. It must not be. He's so pathetic, she said to herself after that. This doubt poisoned the charm of her new life. If you enjoy this format, please leave a like and subscribe and return tomorrow for the next chapter.